You just wrote for the website, the Players Tribune, an open letter to undrafted free agents because you were undrafted
exactly.
out of
That's why I
Georgia
said
Tech.
he was Chris Harris before Chris Harris.
So give us the gist of this open letter. What did you tell guys like what Chris Harris used to be? Well, you used to be an undrafted free agent.
You know, it's hard to play in this game for a long period of time. It's hard to come in as an undrafted free agent and try to play this game because when you come in, you're already behind the 8 ball. You're already very deep on the depth chart. There's a game here the Broncos are going to play Saturday against the 49ers. A lot of those guys are not going to get time to play until they make it to that 4th preseason game. And that is your final showcase or ability to showcase to other teams around the league that you belong, in professional football. So for me, I wanted to tell those guys a little bit about myself and tell them, regardless of what they're writing in the paper, how deep you're buried on the depth chart, you can make it in this league. And if you don't make this team or you don't make the Jets, you don't make the Bills, it's not over. If you work hard enough in anything that you do, people are going to recognize that. Because it's the saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Because I know a lot of players that I played with who were very talented, but they never lived up to the expectations because it came easy for them.
Yeah.
Guys like myself and Chris Harris was the same way. We had to work for it.
You're absolutely right. And I tell people, and I think it's true in every industry, what you're talking about. If you work harder than everybody else, you're going to pass most people because most people don't want to work very hard.
Right.
If you're passionate, and I assume if you played football that long, you're passionate about football. Be passionate and be creative. And you can even be creative in football. Oh, I'm gonna cheat on the inside shoulder of the guy.
Right.
I am going to show the. I saw Brandon Marshall come out last Saturday night, and he's already made the team. He's somewhat a star till he got hurt last year. He was wild, man. He was all over the field. Defending passes, people had said he was not really a good pass defender. He knocked down 2 passes.
It's recognized these days, especially every play is on tape from 7 different angles, and the coaches are breaking it down every single day. They know who's putting out and who isn't.
What is the difference between, Phil Mickelson says that the difference between great golfers and very average golfers is about 8 inches. And he's not talking about 8-inch putts. He's talking about between the ears.
Yeah.
Is that what the difference is? If you're an undrafted free agent, most undrafted free agents are this close to being drafted, that they were close enough, and you're almost better off being an undrafted free agent because you have a better chance to pick your team. But what is the difference between a guy that, let's take you or Chris Harris, we're using you as examples, of guys that were drafted. What makes you better than these guys that are drafted that we see just fall off the map all the time?
It's the attitude. I mean, you hear guys talk about it all the time. When they come in the league, they have a chip on their shoulder. Yeah, they did not get drafted because someone say, well, they didn't play against elite competition. They didn't meet the size, height, weight measurables as though teams were looking for. But one thing I always say, you can't measure, what's in a man's heart. Yeah. They don't have a 40-yard dash for that. They don't have a short shuttle for that.
Yeah, you and I talked about this yesterday. Yeah.
So it's the fact of looking at the body of work. When you see that player play on the field against elite competition, is he showing up? Is he making plays? Because in this business, I don't care, baseball or basketball, do you make plays? And that's the bottom line. So the players think with that mentality.
He's former NFL safety Nick Ferguson. All our guests are brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.